Breaking news on 41 Action News starts right now.
An officer is hurt after a struggle with a suspect in North Kansas City. Police went to the scene just north of I-29 in Armour on the report of a threat by the suspect. When officers arrived, they say the suspect ran and police chased him. During the chase, shots were fired and an officer was hurt. It is not clear at this point how the officer was hurt, but we do know that that officer suffered a head injury.
Never want anything like this to happen at all, but best thing here is the officer is going to be okay. The suspect was not injured, and is in custody, so he's no longer a danger to the public.
A neighbor says she saw the officer wheeled out on a stretcher, awake and alert. We, of course, will keep following that. But good evening, everyone. I'm Rhiannon Alley alongside Gary Lezak. The weather, a huge story today. We pretty much saw everything, Gary.
Yeah, we had rain, sleet, freezing rain, and
a little bit of snow.
That's right. That's up in St. Joseph. Yeah, St. Joseph had a little bit of heavier snow than I saw today here, but, you know, we get missed again. That's the way it goes. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now. This picture came in from Maryville, just north of St. Joseph. 1 inch or more 4 times this season they've had now up near Maryville. Here on the plaza, you can see it is cold, 13 degrees, 14 degrees in Lee Summit, 13 with a 3-degree below zero wind chill factor in Overland Park. What we're going to monitor now is a storm to the east and the snow coming in from the northwest. Will that get here? That's a good question. We'll talk about that. But right now, we're looking at some icy conditions in spots. And meteorologist Gerard Bailey has been out in Storm Tracker. Right there is where he's located. It looks like he's heading up across inside the 435 loop. Gerard, tell us where you are now.
Evening, Gary. We just left Miriam and we're basically moving towards Roland Park. As we've crossed through a lot of these little communities, there have been some significant differences from what we have seen. And just to put it into perspective, so let's show you what we're seeing right now. So Roland Park, you notice the roads are fairly clean, so that's great news. Sidewalks still have some snow on there, which make them a little slick, so we're not too worried about driving conditions being a problem. Now, earlier today, we did see some slick spots further north up near KCK and near Riverside. Now, just to make sure everyone realizes, as we're kind of riding along here, we've been tracking everything from inside Storm Tracker here. We've been monitoring the temperature right here. It's 15 degrees. As temperatures have fallen all day, we've watched everything change dramatically. And now that we are cold enough, everything's going to just stay solid. The good news is crews have done a great job cleaning up things and just making it a much more easier road to travel on. But really, it's only a few spots that we have been seeing the issues, and I think we're going to start to see things at least quiet down for the night. Everyone's getting off the roads, and roads are staying clean. So good news here that we've been able to find.
Storm Tracker on 41 Action News is sponsored by Gladstone Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Gerard's been all over the city.
Are you surprised by how good the roads look right now?
It didn't snow enough. If it would have snowed another half inch, it would have been a lot more. So we avoided the worst. There's some slick spots out there, so that's the good news about this. But the bad news, it's not enough snow for sledding.
Yeah, that is the bad news. Let's check in with 41 Action News reporter Kat Reed. She is out live for us. Let's see how conditions are where she is. We saw Gerard's vantage point. So Kat, tell us where you are. Are the roads slick?
Rhiannon, I am on Shawnee Mission Parkway near Antioch right now, and if you look at the stop sign behind me, you can kind of get a feel for the wind out here. It's calmed down a little bit right now, but it was shaking earlier. The roads look great. Ice has not been a problem, and that's thanks to all of the salt on roads and sidewalks. At Houston Hardware in Prairie Village,
Probably gonna be frozen, so it might be a little
Peter Long and his son Matthew packed their cart with ice melt and sand.
We've done a first pass. We used up everything already, so we're coming in for a resupply.
The Longs live off Ward Parkway and picked up enough supplies to de-ice an entire neighborhood.
We've always done a few of our neighbors. We have a couple of elderly people around our neighborhood that need a little extra help, and our next door neighbor just had a knee replacement today.
The manager of Houston Hardware says the Longs weren't the only ones loading up on ice melt today.
Unfortunately, bad storms equals good business for us.
They can also mean good business for auto repair shops.
Rust is a very difficult problem to repair.
The very same thing that clears roads and sidewalks can wreak havoc on the undercarriage of your car, corroding metal, and even making the vehicle unsafe to drive.
You've got to get in there and you've got to get rid of all of it. If any of it's left, then it will just continue to spread and you've got problems again.
Of course, washing the salt off your car's undercarriage is a small price to pay compared to what would happen on the road without salt.
If we didn't have chemicals on the road, we'd be running into everything.
Now, luckily, there is a very simple solution to prevent that corrosion. Just take your car to a car wash with a really good underbody spray. That way you can rinse away all of the salt, but you're going to want to wait until it's a little bit warmer than it is outside right now. Reporting live in Johnson County, Kat Reed, 41 Action News.
Very good point, Kat. So we are seeing severe weather conditions throughout the metro, and a lot of you sent in pictures. We do appreciate this. These are from our website, kshb.com. You can go to that to see some of these. Look at the ice there forming, and you can see patios. That's what my patio looked like earlier today. Look at these cute little babies. They probably weren't outside for very long, but they sure are cute out looking at all their patio stuff freezing up as well. Anytime you have pictures you want to share with us, it's really easy to do. You can email us. Our email is on our website. You can tweet us or you can post them on our Facebook page. We'd love to share them with other viewers. And take a look at this. This is in Manhattan, Kansas. Most spots in northeast Kansas are dealing with 2 to 4 inches of snow. That's on top of some ice that they saw earlier this morning. And with weather conditions, the U.S. Postal Service is asking for your help to make sure that your mail is delivered. It's asking people to keep walkways, sideways, and porches clear from snow and ice. In past winters, postal carriers have suffered serious injuries related to slips, trips, and falls. This just in, a St. Louis circuit attorney has launched an investigation to determine if Governor Eric Greitens committed any crimes linked to an affair. This comes just one day after Governor Greitens admitted to cheating on his wife. According to KMOV-TV in St. Louis, the ex-husband of the woman Greitens allegedly had this affair with alleged that Greitens threatened to blackmail her. Greitens' lawyer is denying those allegations, and despite calls to resign, the attorney says the governor will not. The affair happened before Greitens took office, and again, he has admitted to that. We are learning more about a rape that allegedly happened in an ER room at the University of Kansas Hospital. 35-year-old Joshua Johnson from Raymore is charged with rape. In a statement, the University of Kansas Health System says, "We take these allegations seriously and that individual is not an employee." Johnson's next court date is set for Tuesday. In a 41 Action News update, after recent allegations of sexual misconduct in Congress, House lawmakers are now pushing for change.
On these issues that relate to sexual harassment, we're going to have a bill that's supposed to come up next week. They're just putting the finishing touches on it. Jackie Spear took the lead on that, but it's bipartisan, and will come up next week.
She says next on the agenda is addressing concerns of women in the workplace and finding the best way to improve some situations. Have you ever noticed that your phone starts acting up when it's really cold outside? You are not imagining things. We'll tell you some gadgets you need that can help you get through the season.
Rhiannon, there's another storm forming, but this one will miss us. This could have been a big one for us, but it's heading towards the east. We'll go over the details of our next chance of snow in a few minutes.
Tonight at 10, severe dyslexia can hold a child back.
It's been really hard.
But what if the building blocks to succeed are right under their nose?
This year he tested above average.
The unique technology helping kids with dyslexia. Tonight at 10.
The president facing more controversy tonight after explosive comments he made about immigrants just hours ago. Blaine Alexander explains and shows us how a tweet from the president on a different topic sparked some confusion on Capitol Hill.
The yeas are 256, the nays are 164.
The House today easily passing a measure to renew FISA, the federal surveillance program used to target suspected terrorists and foreign criminals.
The bill is passed.
But before that vote, a behind-the-scenes scramble after the president called FISA controversial, suggesting it was used to spy on his campaign. The confusion forcing a quick cleanup. Chief of Staff Kelly dispatched to the Hill to save legislation the White House supported. Soon, another presidential tweet, this time praising FISA.
Did he not understand what bill you were voting on today?
He just has concerns about other parts of FISA.
It wasn't confusing to me. I'm sorry if it was for you.
The president, meanwhile, making headlines today for a remark he reportedly made during an immigration discussion with lawmakers. One Democratic source tells NBC News the president used a demeaning expletive to refer to Haiti and African countries, saying he would rather see more immigrants from nations like Norway. This capping a day when lawmakers inched closer to legislation to fix DACA, the law protecting thousands of undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. A group of senators today pushing the first bipartisan fix. The White House response? Skeptical.
That a deal has not been reached, and we've outlined what a deal would need to look like on our end for it to happen.
President Trump making clear he will not approve any measure without funding for the border wall. And the White House put out a statement neither confirming nor denying that word from President Trump, but saying that he will always continue to fight for Americans. Meanwhile, a source familiar with the conversation said the president grew particularly agitated and frustrated when talking about the visa lottery program. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, the White House.
We are seeing a lot of severe weather near KCI earlier today, especially what crews are doing to get planes up in the air.
Some snow to the northwest by tomorrow at about this time. Could it get to Kansas City? We will take a look.
We are continuing to track the roads here in Kansas City, traveling through downtown. We are going to bring you an update of what we are seeing here, what you can expect through the morning coming up. You're watching 41 Action News, clear, complete coverage.
You're watching 41 Action News at 6:30. Clear, complete coverage with Rhiannon Alley. And your forecast with Gary Lezak, Kansas City's weather leader. Thanks for watching 41 Action News.
Here at home, you may be wondering when ice and snow fall, what happens at KCI? Well, a team springs into action to make sure that planes can take off. The airport uses a de-icing chemical on the planes and sand on the runways. 41 Action News reporter Sarah Plake takes us behind the scenes to show us how.
Here behind me, you can see that poor man up on that bucket de-icing the plane. Now, it's very important to get these planes de-iced because it'll affect the aerodynamics. I mean, you wouldn't want a bunch of ice and sleet piled up on the wings. So that de-icer is not the same that you or I would use on our cars or on our driveways. You know, using the same kind of stuff could corrode the plane. The planes are very sensitive, as big as they are. Some other fun facts to know about KCI is that this is a large-scale operation to keep the sleet and the ice off the runways. KCI has like 15 million square feet of runways and taxiways and 7 million square feet of roads and parking to take care of, so it's a big deal. They also have snow blowers that are, taller than me that can move 7,500 tons of snow an hour. They also have 16 snow plows that also get the job done as well. So this is very important to our safety as we're flying.
Our crews were out early, and their challenge was it was fairly rainy there for a while, and if they would pre-treat with the potassium acetate, there's a good chance it would either wash away or at the very least dilute and not be as effective when the temperature change would go to freezing.
Now, they don't think that anything else is going to fall today, so whatever they've already treated the runways and taxiways with will probably be okay, but still there are a lot of people working around the clock to making sure KCI runs properly amidst all this snow and all the sleet. At KCI, I'm Sarah Plake, 41 Action News.
Very interesting, the things they have to do to keep us all safe. Well, have you ever noticed your smartphones and really basically all electronics really act kind of strange in the extreme cold? Once the weather drops below freezing, electronics with lithium-ion batteries can malfunction or just power off in an instant. Device Pit Stop in Overland Park says it is because chemical reactions in the device start to slow down.
A lot of times it'll show misleading battery power readings, so you got to be aware of the phone battery power before you bring it out in the cold.
Besides a typical charger, there are things you can buy to help. There are gadgets like on-the-go chargers and charging backpacks that can keep you out of a bind. In case of an emergency, always have a backup power source with you. Good advice. So,
yes,
tonight we have to worry about the obviously frigid temperatures and maybe some ice still out there, especially on the side streets.
Yeah, there's a few spots like that, but it's really just the cold. It's the most brutal thing.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your kids tomorrow?
I know. I was asking that at the bus stop. I can't believe it's like 5 degrees tomorrow morning.
It was 5 with a wind chill factor of 10 or 12 below.
Oh, no.
So
that's cold.
Let's see what's going on. It's going to get colder than this in a few days, I believe. Still some stratocumulus clouds. You can see them floating above us. If the sky clears, it'll drop down as low as 5 degrees. If it doesn't clear, it might be 9 or 10, but I do expect it to clear tonight. Right now it is 14 degrees in Lee Summit with a wind chill factor of 3 below 0. Lawrence is 16. That northwest breeze at 17 giving a wind chill factor of 0. 3 below 0 at Overland Park and in North Kansas City as well. The winter weather advisory has been pushed off to the east. We are now in the clear. We just barely are missing a storm. I know we got a little bit of one today. We did have rain. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow, as predicted, and under an inch. Okay, we had a dusting, and that's about what we thought was going to happen out of this situation today. Will we ever get a bigger storm? Well, one thing for certain, they're about to have a big one. Here it is now developing. This is a system right here, using my cycling pattern hypothesis, the LRC. This right here is right on schedule. And if it would have formed right here, Kansas City probably would have had a big storm, but it's forming to our southeast and it's going to move into the eastern part of the country. You'll see it here in just a second. Single digits to start the day tomorrow. Snow developing back to the northwest. This area of snow, as you can see here, developing north and west of Kansas City, and the big storm is off to the east. So watch this snow. It looks like it's heading right towards us at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and it may get here, but it fizzles and goes away, while behind me is a big storm from Ohio, eastern Indiana, Kentucky, northern Tennessee into western New York, where a foot of snow is possible. And then we'll look to the north as we go into Saturday and Saturday night. Saturday should be dry, 14 degrees, 15 degrees, so cold. As we go into Sunday in the morning, look at this, snow very close to Kansas City. So between the system tomorrow and the system on Sunday, this is the snowfall pattern expected to develop north of Omaha that'll track towards northwestern sections of Missouri and end up in our area by Sunday morning. So KCI downtown, an inch of snow is possible. The snowflake contest could end Sunday. Or not, all right? And then 1.9 inches in Excelsior Springs. So 1 to 3 inches of snow possible in this band. The European model that everyone in my peers, they're so, well, I won't come up with an adjective, but they love the European model. And I want them to be right because it has us really firmly in the snow, but it has not done very well this winter. The forecast, 5 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, 11 degrees at 10 a.m. up to 21 for the high. In our 7-day forecast, 19 degrees Saturday, 30 Sunday, and then 16 degrees Monday. 50% chance there's another system Monday. So 2 chances to end the snowflake contest. It could happen. It'd be so exciting. We'll see. 7 degrees, though, for the high on Tuesday. So Martin Luther King Day may be a good day to head out to Snow Creek. There is Girard, or there is Girard over there, which is located right near Kansas City. Girard, you're close to the station, aren't you?
Yeah, we're not too far away. We just passed by Crown Center and we're heading south, leaving from Union Station. And we're just making sure we cover the city entirely to make sure we have a good idea of what the roads are looking like everywhere. And for the most part, we've been very, very lucky today. So here's what it looks like as we are heading south down Main Street. As we were moving through downtown, not bad at all. Most of the roads and sidewalks were pretty much cleared off, and a lot of people were able to get by without too many issues. It seems that the western side of the city may have gotten just a little bit more snow than anywhere else that we have found. Now, we're not talking about much. We're talking maybe a half inch total versus a quarter of an inch. But as you mentioned earlier, Gary, if we got an inch of snow across the area today, that could have been majorly different than what we had earlier from today. A quarter of an inch was a bit of a blessing. We got by and we were able to get rid of it, and it didn't cause too many traffic problems with roads being so bad. But you know, if we had an inch, it would have been a big different story. We did see several slick spots that were problematic, but other than that, things are actually smoothing by pretty good. I think tomorrow morning we'll be able to see a little bit of ice on the roads, but it will not be too bad.
All right, thank you very much, Gerard. We'll see you back here in a few minutes. KCI officially had 4/10 of an inch of snow officially. Okay. So they had 1.1 in the first storm, 1.1 in the second storm, 0.4 in the third storm. Here in the plaza, we had 0.8, 0.1, and 0.1.
Okay, we'll see what it does this weekend and tomorrow morning. As you know, several schools were closed in the metro today, a lot of them because of the weather. We have just learned schools in Trenton, Missouri will be on a late start tomorrow. So when districts cancel, we know it can be so stressful for parents figuring out what to do and where to go with their kids. Well, several community centers were open today, including Matt Ross in Overland Park, and parents say it's so nice to find places outside of the home to go to help keep kids stay busy. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay.
What?
Frigid cold temperatures tonight.
It's going to be a bundle of it. You know, I left for work without my gloves and my hat.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
By the way, at 7 o'clock, our website resets. If there are any school closings or any late starts, those will be on our website. Just look near the top right of the screen, kshb.com.